Hello, my friend. Welcome back. I'm very glad you are here with me today, wherever you are listening from. Maybe you are sitting quietly at home. Maybe you are walking. Maybe you are lying in bed after a long day. I want you to know something first. You don't need to rush. You don't need to be perfect. You're exactly where you need to be right now. Oh, today, I want to talk about something that touches all of our lives, something we all experience, and no matter our age, our job, our country, or our level of English. Today, I want to talk about how to stay calm under pressure. Pressure is part of modern life. We feel it at work. We feel it when we speak a second language. We feel it when people are watching us, waiting for us, expecting something from us. And often, when pressure appears, calm disappears. But I believe calm is not something we lose forever. Calm is something we can return to. And language, especially English, can be a bridge back to that calm. So today, let's walk together through stories, reflections, and gentle practice. Nothing rushed. Nothing forced, just a quiet conversation between you and me. Let me start with a simple moment. A few years ago, I was standing in a small cafe early in the morning. It was one of those places with soft light, wooden tables, and the smell of fresh coffee in the air. I remember this clearly because on that morning, I was not calm at all. I was preparing for an important presentation later that day. Not a dramatic one, not a public speech with hundreds of people, but important to me. Important enough to make my chest feel tight, important enough to make my thoughts move too fast. As I stood in line, I kept thinking about what could go wrong. I thought about forgetting my words. I thought about someone asking a question I couldn't answer. I thought about my English, even though I teach English, sounding weak or unclear. Have you ever felt that strange moment when you know something, but under pressure, it feels like it disappears? I ordered my coffee, smiled at the barista, and sat down by the window. Outside, people were walking quickly. Inside, everything felt slow. And suddenly, I noticed something small but powerful. I noticed my breath. It wasn't deep. It wasn't calm. It was short and fast, so I did something very simple. I placed my hand on the table. I felt the surface solid, cool, real, and quietly, in my mind, I said a sentence. I am here. I am safe. I have time. Let me say it again slowly. I am here. I am safe. I have time. This was not magic. My pressure did not disappear instantly, but something changed. The noise in my head became softer. My body stopped fighting the moment. And this is where language becomes powerful. Not grammar, not vocabulary lists, but real language that meets us where we are. Now, I want you to gently repeat those sentences with me. Not loudly, just softly, in your own space. Repeat after me. I am here. Good. I am safe. Very good. I have time. Try saying all three together. Slowly. I am here. I am safe. I have time. Notice how your body feels when you say those words. You are not just practicing English. You are practicing presence. Later that day, during the presentation, something interesting happened. I still felt pressure. My heart still beat faster, but I did not panic. When I forgot a word, I paused, I breathed, and I continued. That pause, that calm pause, was more powerful than perfect English. Many learners believe calm comes after confidence. I believe confidence often comes after calm. Let me share another story. This time, Imagine a train station. I was traveling in another country, one where English was not the first language. My train was delayed. The platform was crowded. People were checking their phones, talking loudly, moving nervously. I needed information. I needed to ask a question in English. Now, this is interesting because even as an English teacher, speaking English under pressure feels different. The environment changes everything. I walked up to the information desk. My mind prepared many sentences at once. Too many sentences. My mouth felt dry, and then the pressure arrived. Have you noticed how pressure often comes from one simple thought? I must not make a mistake. That thought is heavy. It tightens the body. It speeds up the mind. So I changed the thought. I told myself I don't need perfect English. I need clear intention. Clear intention is calm. Perfection is pressure. I smiled and said, "Excuse me, my train is delayed. Could you help me?" Simple, clear, human. The staff member smiled back. They understood me immediately. Afterward, I realized something important. Calm communication is not about advanced language. It is about connection. Now, let's gently explore the language inside that moment. Excuse me, this is a soft opening. It creates space. My train is delayed. Clear information. Could you help me? Polite, open, human. Try repeating this sentence slowly. Could you help me? Again, could you help me? Notice how this sentence does not demand. It invites. Under pressure, invitations work better than demands, both in language and in life. Now, pause for a moment and think about a situation where you feel pressure when speaking English. Maybe at work, maybe in a meeting, maybe on the phone. In your mind, create one simple sentence you could use in that situation. Just one. You don't need to say it out loud now. Just notice it. Pressure often tells us to speak more, faster, louder. Calm tells us to speak less, slower, clearer. Sometimes staying calm under pressure means allowing silence. Silence is not failure. Silence is space. I remember a student once telling me, "Thomas, when I stop speaking, I feel stupid." I understood that feeling. Many of us were taught that silence means weakness. But in reality, silence can mean thinking. Silence can mean respect. Silence can mean confidence. Let me tell you a story about silence. I was once in a difficult conversation. Someone was unhappy with me. Their voice was loud. Their words were sharp. The pressure in the room was heavy. Old me would have defended myself quickly. Old me would have filled the space with explanations. But that day, I chose something different. I listened. I nodded. And when they finished speaking, I waited for one breath. Then I said, "I understand how you feel." That was all. Those 5 words changed the direction of the conversation. Repeat after me slowly. I understand how you feel. Again, I understand how you feel. This sentence does not mean you agree. It means you are present. Under pressure, presence is powerful. Now, let's connect this back to you and your English journey. When you feel pressure while learning English, what usually happens? Maybe your mind says, "I'm not good enough." Maybe your body feels tense. Maybe you avoid speaking. I want to gently say this to you. Pressure does not mean you are failing. Pressure means you care, and caring is not a weakness. When I feel pressure, I try to ask myself one quiet question. What is actually happening right now? Not what might happen, not what could go wrong, but what is happening now. Right now, you are listening. Right now, you are breathing. Right now, you are learning. This moment is safe. Let's practice a grounding sentence together. Repeat after me. Right now, I am okay. Again, right now, I am okay. This sentence is simple, but it carries weight. Sometimes staying calm under pressure is not about removing the pressure. It is about softening our response to it. Imagine pressure like a wave. If you fight it, it knocks you down. If you move with it, it passes. Language can help us move with it. For example, instead of saying, "I must speak perfectly," try saying, "I will do my best." Repeat after me, "I will do my best." Again, "I will do my best." This sentence allows effort without fear. Another helpful phrase is, "Let me think for a moment." Repeat slowly, "Let me think for a moment." This sentence buys you time, and time creates calm. In real conversations, native speakers use this all the time. It is natural. It is human. Now, let me share one final story. Not a dramatic one, just a quiet moment. One evening, after a long day, I sat alone and reflected on my life as a teacher, a learner, a human being. I realized something simple but deep. The moments when I grew the most were not the moments when everything was easy. They were moments of pressure when I stayed present instead of running away. Pressure shaped my patience. Pressure taught me humility. Pressure taught me to listen. And English, this language we are sharing, became not just a skill, but a companion. When you speak English calmly under pressure, you are not just communicating information. You are communicating trust in yourself and in the moment. So the next time you feel pressure, try this small ritual. Breathe. Say one grounding sentence. Speak slowly. Allow silence. And remember, you are allowed to be human in any language. Before we finish today, let's bring everything together with a gentle reflection. You are not learning English to impress people. You are learning English to express yourself. You are not practicing words. You are practicing awareness. You are not behind. You are becoming. If today felt slow, that is good. Slow learning lasts longer. If today felt emotional, that is also good. Emotional language stays deeper. And if today felt calm, then you are exactly where you need to be. Thank you for sharing this time with me. This is English with Thomas. I'm Thomas. Keep speaking, keep growing, and keep trusting yourself. Let's stay here a little longer together. If you are still listening, that already tells me something about you. It tells me you are willing to slow down. You are willing to stay with a feeling instead of escaping it. And that ability to stay is one of the most important skills for staying calm under pressure. Pressure often tells us to run, to finish quickly, to escape the discomfort. But calm grows when we stay just a little longer than we want to. I want you to imagine something simple now. Imagine you are standing in front of a door. Behind that door is a situation that makes you nervous. Maybe it's a meeting in English. Maybe it's a phone call. Maybe it's introducing yourself to someone new. You haven't opened the door yet. You are just standing there. Notice your body. Notice your shoulders. Notice your jaw. Notice your breath. Many people try to calm themselves by thinking harder. But calm does not come from thinking. Calm comes from noticing. So instead of telling yourself, "Don't be nervous," try telling yourself, "I notice I am nervous." Repeat after me. Slowly. I notice I am nervous. And I notice I am nervous. This sentence does not fight the feeling. It names it. And when we name something, it often loses a little of its power. In English, this is very important. When you can name your feeling, you can manage it. For example, I feel a little nervous. I feel under pressure. I feel unsure. These sentences are not weaknesses. They are clarity. Let's practice one together. Repeat after me. I feel a little nervous. Good. Now, try this one. I feel under pressure. Very good. When you say these sentences calmly, your body starts to believe you are in control, even if the situation is difficult. I remember a time when I was teaching a live class with many students watching online. The technology failed. The screen froze. The sound disappeared. The pressure was intense. Old me would have panicked silently, smiled while feeling stressed inside. But that day, I said something simple and honest. I'm feeling a bit of pressure right now. Let's take a moment. And something beautiful happened. The students relaxed. They smiled. The pressure in the room softened. Honesty created calm. This is a lesson I want you to carry with you. You do not need to hide your humanity when you speak English. You are allowed to bring it with you. Now, let's slow the pace even more. I want you to listen to this sentence and then repeat it in your own time. There is no rush. Again, there is no rush. Pressure often lies to us. It tells us that everything is urgent. Everything is now. Everything must be perfect. But most moments are not emergencies, they are just moments. When you speak English, you are allowed to pause. You are allowed to breathe. You are allowed to search for words. Native speakers do this every day. Think about that. Even people who grew up with English stop, hesitate, repeat themselves, change direction. Fluency is not speed. Fluency is comfort, and comfort grows from calm. Sometimes, staying calm under pressure means changing the way we listen, not just the way we speak. When we feel pressure, we often listen to respond. We prepare our answer while the other person is still talking. This creates tension. Instead, try listening to understand. You can use a sentence like, "Let me make sure I understand." Repeat after me. Let me make sure I understand. This sentence slows the conversation. It gives you time. It shows care. Another helpful phrase is, "Could you say that again, please?" Repeat it slowly. Could you say that again, please? This is not a failure. This is communication. Now, I want to talk to you honestly, as a teacher and as a learner. Sometimes, pressure does not come from the situation. It comes from the story we tell ourselves about the situation. The story might sound like this: if I make a mistake, they will judge me. If I don't speak well, I will look stupid. If I pause, I will lose respect. But these are stories, not facts. Let me offer you a different story. If I speak calmly, people will listen. If I take my time, my message will be clearer. If I am human, I will be relatable. You don't need to believe this story perfectly. Just let it sit with you. Pressure often disappears when we stop trying to protect an image and start expressing a message. Ask yourself this gentle question: what do I want them to understand? Not how do I sound. Meaning over image. Connection over performance. Now, let's bring this back to your daily life. Maybe tomorrow you will feel pressure again. At work, in study, in conversation. When that moment comes, try to remember this sequence. First, notice your breath. Second, name the feeling. Third, choose simple language. Fourth, allow space. You don't need to do everything. Even one step is enough. Before we close, I want to leave you with one final sentence. A sentence you can return to whenever pressure rises. Listen first. I can handle this moment. Now, repeat after me. I can handle this moment. Again, slowly. I can handle this moment. This sentence does not promise perfection. It promises presence. And presence is where calm lives. Thank you for staying with me until the end. Thank you for giving yourself this quiet space. Learning a language is not just about building sentences. It is about building trust with yourself. This is English with Thomas. I'm Thomas. Keep speaking, keep growing, and keep trusting yourself. Let's take just a little more time before we say goodbye. I want you to imagine the next moment of pressure that will come into your life. Not in a dramatic way. Just gently notice that it will come. Because pressure is part of being alive, part of caring, part of trying. And when it comes, I don't want you to remember every sentence from today. That would be too much. I only want you to remember one feeling, the feeling that you are allowed to slow down. Many people think calm people are born calm. That is not true. Calm people are practiced people. They have practiced returning to themselves again and again, sometimes calmly, sometimes clumsily, sometimes after failing. And that is okay. I want to share something personal with you now. Even after years of teaching, even after years of speaking English every day, I still feel pressure sometimes before certain conversations, before important decisions, before moments where I care deeply. Pressure has not disappeared from my life, but fear no longer controls it. And the reason is simple. I stopped asking myself, how can I avoid pressure? I started asking, how can I stay kind to myself when pressure appears? That question changed everything. When you are kind to yourself, your body softens. When your body softens, your mind clears. When your mind clears, your words come more naturally. Language flows from safety. That is why I often say, you are not just learning English. You are learning how to create safety inside yourself while using English. And that skill stays with you forever. Let's practice one last gentle sentence together. This one is very important. Repeat after me. I don't need to be perfect to be understood. Again, I don't need to be perfect to be understood. Let that sentence sink in. You have already been understood many times in your life, even when your words were not perfect, even when your grammar was not correct, even when you paused, hesitated, searched. Understanding is human, not mechanical. Before we end, I want you to do one small thing for yourself today or tomorrow. Just one. When you feel pressure, instead of pushing yourself harder, lower your voice, slow your speech, simplify your sentence. This is not giving up. This is choosing clarity, and clarity is strength. If no one has told you this recently, let me say it now. You are doing better than you think. Your English is growing, even when it feels slow. Your calm is learning how to return. You don't need to rush the journey. You don't need to compare yourself to others. You only need to stay. Stay curious, stay gentle, stay present. Thank you for trusting me with your time, your attention, and your learning. This is English with Thomas. I'm Thomas. Keep speaking, keep growing, and keep trusting yourself.